Dang it, Bobby.
Episode 2.
Plus critiquing your craft. I think YouTube, learning stuff on YouTube, perfecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Before you want to step outside. That way, whenever you do critique your craft and perfect it, when you get around these people and it's time for you to press play, you know it's a go.
Make your own sound. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because I feel like now in the game, everybody's trying to make like somebody else kind of beats, you know what I'm saying? Like having an original sound is not really popping right now. Like a lot of people don't have an original sound. So really just having your own sound and just pressing your own sound and getting better every day, working on your craft, spending time, you know what I'm saying? Being hungry, really. That's what I can tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? Work on your craft, be original, and stay hungry, and stay wanting to get bigger and bigger, and it's gonna happen for you for sure.
It can be very difficult at times dealing with motherfuckers that are still in the street trying to, do this industry thing. Like I tell motherfuckers, if you're gonna be a full-out rapper, be a full-out rapper, bro. Let your people do what they do and take care of what they need to take care of. Put people in position. POP, people in position. That's the saying for the motherfucking 2022. Be a person of position.
And I also think that my consistent need to learn things, whether that be for someone else or for my own being. I mean, this year alone, I got licensed as a private pilot. I'm a scuba diving instructor. Like, that's all just for me, but I constantly am adding to my toolbox and trying to learn skills not only for the industry, but for life. So I think I'm never done. I want to always be growing. So I think that's important, and I can be taught. Not everyone takes teaching well.
Just be humble, man. You know what I mean? But Bobby, again, Bobby, you're the most humble person I know. And that goes a long way. That's why I mess with you, bro. That's why a lot of people mess with you. That's why, the placement you got yourself was made because you were humble. The thing is that when you are humble as a producer, that aura, that warmth that you have towards other artists and other producers and other engineers, that it brings it in, bro. Negativity spreads the same way that positivity does. And so it's one of those things where you as a producer just need to relax. Don't let nothing get to your head. Just be you. And be humble, because, you start acting like a shark, you start realizing how little of a shark you really are. You're just some guppy in a small pond. Again, once you branch out of that small pond into the big ocean, you yourself as a producer will start to realize, hey, I wasn't as big as I thought. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. You hit a brick wall, and next thing you know, you're stuck here thinking, what have I gone wrong? What should I have done?
Stop telling your artist he's next up. Stop saying that shit, bro. That's not no real motivation. 6 months go by, and he's still working that motherfucking 9 to 5. Nigga, was he next up then? Nigga, when he ringing them people out, nigga, for their food and ringing their people out for retail sales and shit. Quit telling these niggas they next up, and nigga, you tell these niggas how to make some money off their music, and nigga, you keep it at that, nigga. Quit lying to your artists, nigga.
Honestly, man, I just think people aren't doing enough original shit. It's not hard to copy other people's stuff, especially now with YouTube and tutorials and all that stuff, man. It's super easy just to copy things, which is cool, I guess, if you want to be in a game like that. But I don't know, man, I think a lot of this shit just comes from somebody's perspective, because I don't think I have the same perspective as a lot of people, maybe at least around here, that I met. So in my opinion, I think that's what holds a lot of producers back from being better, is they don't want to be as creative because they want to fit into something that's already around them or whatever, which is cool if that's what you want to do. If you want to do something like that, you're probably gonna get way further than somebody like me. I'm just being real, you know what I'm saying? But I've also got to do a lot of shit these other people haven't got to do because I was just in a different route. And so, yeah, I value like creativity and originality over really anything more than that. So that's my opinion on that.
Being inconsistent, not working hard enough, you know what I'm saying? Not being coachable, stuff like that, like not being able to take honest criticism. I feel like a lot of artists, producers in general, we all have narcissistic traits, you know? But at some point in time, you gotta know how to take stuff in and be coachable, you feel me? Like, I feel like that's like a key thing. Like, stop being I already know ass nigga. Like, be somebody that's willing to learn and take stuff, you feel me?
Okay, so I know earlier I said all I do is hip hop, but that's what, just doing one genre. So the reason why I only do one genre is because that's where the market is right now. But the most crippling thing a producer or engineer can do is categorize themselves or limit themselves. Yeah, and I see it happen all the time. I'm just a hip hop producer. I don't. Right. No, if you can hear music and you can make music do what you want it to do, you're a musician. You're not a producer. You are a producer, but like, you're not just that. You're more than that. So you gotta have faith and trust your ear enough to know that those same 12 notes are being played in country music. They're being played in, huge symphonic orchestras. Like, it's all the same 12 notes. If you can hear them and you can make them do the things that you want them to do, you are capable of working in any genre you want, even if it's not your taste.
Well, I think I feel like there's no wrong or right way to get yourself out there in this industry, because it's not a book that they give you to say, this is how you make it. You gotta kind of get your bumps and scratches your own way. You know what I mean? I can probably name 10 different producers right now who did it differently than me, but they got successful differently than me, or did things differently. I think you just gotta come with a game plan. You gotta stick with that game plan. You know what I mean? You can't just start today and do it for a couple months and you be like, okay, I'm tired, I'm done. This is a nonstop grind. This is one of those grinds where, you know what I mean, like I was saying before, you stop, you take your time, there's somebody behind you who's catching up and they're ready to do the next thing. If they're gonna catch up to you. So you gotta always stay moving, you always gotta stay grooving, you always gotta stay, you gotta keep finding different artists or finding different producers to work with. Travel, man, shake hands, don't be scared to shake somebody's hands, ask questions. Be aggressive. When I say aggressive, I don't mean, grab them and shake them. I mean, hey, what's up? My name's Seal McCoy. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? I'm you know what I mean? You got to talk to people. You got to let them see that you are
serious.
Man, serious, great. Yeah, all that. Perfect example. Yes.
I think a big key aspect behind it is egotism. There's a lot of producers that whenever they start to make a wave, there's that whole cloud being chased, whether it's local or outside. A lot of people start to really get in their head, and they'll either make simple mistakes they shouldn't make, or they'll burn bridges that shouldn't be burned. And the biggest thing that will actually take producers to that next step is how they fundamentally build those bridges with other people. How they.
To me, there is a huge lack of originality. Is what I think. The content sucks. I'm a dinosaur. So let me just say this. I'm old school. I think that there are a million ways to express yourself in other ways. Yeah, how many different ways you can say the same thing over and over again? There's different ways of doing it. Do we have to keep saying, shaking my ass, shaking your ass, ass this, ass that, oh, you got a fat ass. There's nothing else you got to say? Like, there's nothing else you got to show. You got nothing else to entertain us with. That's it. How much dope you done sold? how you got to your empire, you self-made, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is the same, bro, like, to me. So I'm just waiting on the content to grow. I think that's what holds people back. The tracks that everybody tends to run to as well, I get it. Sometimes there's just not enough beat makers out here to get y'all right. But at the same time, some of the stuff that y'all want to rap over is just trash. I don't know how else to say it. It is. It sound the same. All that stuff sound microwave. Ain't nobody crafting out nothing for nobody, and it just don't sound good. It don't sound hot. It just sound like the same old, same old. Sound like something I heard 100 times.
Not being people. Not being people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some hard ass fucking producers, bro, that's scared to come out the house, bro. Don't want to talk to people, don't want to meet people, don't want to come to the studio in front of people, don't want to speak up in the studio, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to talk about being a producer. So, bro, that just holds a lot of people back. I feel like you got to be a star within your lane. Everybody has a lane, and every lane has stars, you know what I'm saying? We know producers that are stars, bro, that are public figures, but they make beats, you know what I'm saying? They're not rappers, but it's the same shit, you know what I'm saying? They're just stars at what they do. It's the same thing. Like, you have to be a star in what you do to be all the way out there, you know what I'm saying? Even the most humble people, quiet people about what they do are fucking stars. Like Mike Dean, that's one of my favorites. Mike Dean's a fucking legend. Mike Dean be chilling, smoking weed with the glasses on, but Mike Dean be lit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know Mike Dean is hard. You know who Mike Dean is. You know he a rock star, you know what I'm saying? Type shit.
I'll never forget my guy Chris Cutter. I don't think I've ever told this story on camera. So Cutter invited me to the studio a long time ago. It was like 2016, 2017. Kanye was working on the Pablo album, and Tony Williams came to the studio. And I was sitting in there, they were like playing stuff. He was working on Tony Williams' album as well. So I'm sitting in there, I'm high as shit already. Like, I'm really too high for the moment. I'm like, damn, Tony Williams is in here, this is crazy. Man, I must have started packing my stuff to get ready to leave. And Tony said something to me, he was like, where you going? I'm like, oh, I'm just, about to shake, I see y'all working, I'm just about to get out the way. He was like, I came here to listen to your beats. Cutter said you got beats. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I looked my stuff up. I played a couple beats. Tony sat there. He was like, okay, all right, next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Yeah, I'm just steady playing beats. He said, yeah, your beats are too predictable. I'm like, what you mean? He like, just play another one. I'll show you. He played like, okay, intro. Right, the bass about to drop right here, boom, okay. Boom, you already know the pattern about to do this. He just started like assuming what was going on the beat, and I'm just like, damn. Just, I mean, sometimes you just gotta be a little bit unpredictable. You gotta have people on the edge of their seat, keep them guessing, don't do the same things all the time. Like, I'm just like, damn. But I didn't take it like, fuck him, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, okay, I need to step it up some, you feel me? So, yeah, for sure. That was definitely a humbling experience, for sure.
One time I did not complete the mission, bro, was when I had NBA Youngboy in the studio. When I mixed and mastered his songs for his album and recorded for the Decided album. Man, if I was as cold as I am now, and he came, I would be so rich right now. Cause I had some bangers that I could have gave him, you feel me? But shit, at that time I wasn't as good. It wasn't like it was a no, cause he still rapped on some of my beats, they just didn't come out.
Shit, I ain't gonna stunt to you, bro. I done had a couple fucked up missed opportunities, bro. I was supposed to be at the strip club with Lil Bam and goddamn a DJ, what my nigga name is, Go to TV. Still got him in my phone, I could still call, bro. Like shit, but I missed out, bro. I got sick, bro. I ate some Mexican food, bro, and down in Dallas. Fuck around and caught Corona before, nigga, we even knew it was Corona, nigga. Yeah, homies. Nigga pulled up with a mask at the hotel at the Sheraton. I grabbed my shit, smacked my shit down, woke up, nigga feeling like I don't know. But y'all don't know. I don't want to know that feeling, gang. Shit. Yeah, bro. I missed out, bro. That's the only thing I can say I could really miss out on, bro. It's DJing for a little band at the strip club, bro.
I probably want to say, you know, I want to, you know what I mean, when niggas was doing the competition to win like 25 bands or something, and I wanted to be a part of it. I had the dough and everything, and it was just like, them niggas was like more trying to hustle me more than when I was told to pay. So it was just like, you know what I mean? Once you a real street nigga, you ain't gonna sit here and let niggas in any business hustle you. So I wasn't gonna let niggas hustle me, bro. So I just let that shit go. Like, I just, you know, left that motherfucker. I didn't even perform, didn't even hear about the 25 bands from there. You know, I just kept grinding. I'm glad that I kept grinding though, because more doors open for a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, when you go out there and perform and, you know, you're just like trying to make a name for yourself, of course, like when you're up there performing and it seems like, you know, the crowd is interacting with you, you just gotta work on your energy, you know? If your energy is there and like everything is all aligned and the crowd will fuck with you if they fuck with you. So, I mean, you can't just get up there and expect people to fuck with you. You gotta give them a reason. So really, most of it comes from you. You gotta put in more energy towards your work at that point.
I think time management has been one thing I've had to learn in this industry, especially with having a family to look out for, and you know, you gotta manage that around your work life, studio time, performances. You know, it's a bitch. And as far as with the hardships, man, staying consistent, that's one of the worst things that, you know, takes upon an artist. You know, a lot of people think you fall off. People be going through shit, but, you know, that's no excuse to anybody. You gotta stay consistent.
I really always just sat in the back, bro. I never was one to ever just beg for the attention. I didn't give a fuck about it. As long as I was making my money or enjoying spending my money. You know what I'm saying? However it was at that time, it was more of the fact, let me just soak up the game while I could do it. It wasn't until I started using my voice that I became a factor, that people started using me. It wasn't a time that I really was just like, hey, let me get on, and people like, man, fuck that. What I really had to struggle with is how people would protect me, when it was who I was or my character or who I am. A lot of people have problems with the way I am or who I am because I'm Hispanic and I'm acting black, as they would say. And I got a lot of ridicule. I got ridiculed a lot in the years growing up because of who I am, you know? And respectfully for what it was, I'd stand. To me, it wasn't nothing different than me standing up for my hood and standing up for my side and standing up for my partner. It was standing up for something that I believed in. But it made a big impact because there's a lot of people like me that see past a barrier line or see past a color line, and this, you know, we're a certain type of individual. So, you know, take it how it is. I'm not one to disrespect or anything. Like I said, bro, I grew up in an environment where my environment taught me to adapt to my environment. So imagine growing up with a lot of black kids, what you gonna do? You're gonna be just like them. And the color don't matter. You're just gonna grow up to be just like them, a bunch of hood kids. You know what I'm saying? What color wasn't it didn't matter in my hood, cause you had motherfuckers that was Mexican, black, Indian, white. It was all of us in that neighborhood. So it was just like, it was predominantly black. We all just acted to our environment, as I would say. Survival of the fittest.
My favorite thing in the world is when they come in and they have no idea that I'm the engineer and I'm a white girl. That is fantastic. They're just like, so are you, you know, so-and-so's girlfriend? And I'm like, not really. And so that's always really fun. And then they get super respectful. I mean, they start to respectful, but then it's like a whole different thing. And that's funny to me. Yeah, The two people that I've trusted the most in this industry, it's more than two, but specifically two, have cost me the most and hurt me the most. So, you know, and that's where if I was less human and more business, I might have been a little bit better at handling those things. But the thing is we are human, and the industry is not your friend. And I know that that's a tale as old as time, but you know, it's tough to have these personal relationships, friendships, things like that in this industry. And then, you know, there's some butcher knives come out sometimes. Yeah, so I have never been in a situation where I had already paid for something and I didn't get, like, I didn't put thousands of dollars down on something and then I lost it. But I have had people run future things for me that could have been, you know, or, you know, you finally start getting successful and they don't like it. So, and they have the power. I mean, you know, so it's I think my biggest disappointment and my biggest learning curve is that I have loved some people that don't know how to be loved. So I don't like, I'm a lot harder to approach a little bit more on the personal side nowadays, but I think that was for the best. The way that I am now is a great version to deal with. So, you know, sometimes change is good, no matter what it takes to get there.
How much time you got? No, but I mean, because there's been so many times. I mean, I feel like, you know, one of the biggest things is being a female artist. There are a lot of people who tell you you're not gonna sell, you're not sexy enough, your voice isn't what it should be, your look isn't what it should be, you don't have the boobs, you don't have the butt, you don't have the sexiness, you don't, like, that's a really big thing, especially for female artists. And I don't think a lot of people understand how hardly that's targeted. So many times doors have been slammed in my face. People talk behind my back, and then when I'm in front of them, oh, you know, you're so dope, you're this, you're that. But then literally you turn around and, oh, she sucks. Like, she's not sexy enough. She's not this, she's not that. I mean, there's so many times, or, you know, different people feel different ways about different things. I'm not gonna say no names, and I'm not gonna go too in depth, but there are definitely gonna be times where you're not going to agree with someone, especially trying to bring on people to your team. There's gonna be a lot of times that those people feel you should be one way, and those doors do get slammed in your face. There's times where, you know, you might reach out to somebody and you don't hear nothing back, or, you know, they say, oh, I'll work with you if you do X, Y, Z. At the end of the day, though, you have to do you. Like, you have to be so confident and trusting in yourself and your purpose that there is nothing that can deter you from that. And that's really what I had to go through and I had to learn. Because for a minute, I was trying to become those things. Because I'm like, okay, I've been doing me and it hasn't been working. So maybe I do need to. And then I realized, nah, because this isn't even me. So what's the point in that? So then it's finding that balance of, okay, it's okay to break out of your shell, get out of your comfort zone, do something different, but never let somebody else, you know, make you or, you know, change who you are. No matter how many times the door gets slammed in your face. Because the truth is, every time you hear no, you just getting closer to that yes. You know what I mean? Like, just because this person said no, just because that person said no, just because this person said hell no. You never know what that next person is gonna say. And if you quit before you ever get to that door, you ain't never gonna know. Could have been the next door you opened, but you quit. So yeah, you just gotta stay on it.
I got a perfect story for that, actually. So, Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka, man, this is during I think this was like around maybe 2011, 2012, when Waka was pretty much like just blowing up. He had the No Hands joint. He had the, oh, let's do it. You know what I mean? He was coming up. He was just doing his thing. So I was with Kevin Durant, and we got a phone call that Waka Flocka was in the city. He was actually doing a show that night. And Waka wanted to get in the studio with KD, because that's the time we had an artist named Privilege from Philly, which was James Harden's good friend. And we met through James Harden. Kevin Durant put us together, and that's kind of how we, formed our team. Long story short, man, we was at the studio with Waka Flocka, man, and KD was like, man, bring your beats, bring your A game. And this is during a time where when you think you're hot, but you're not exactly industry hot yet, your friends is telling you got the hottest beats, your homies, your family's telling you got the hottest beats. So in your mind, I'm hot. Ain't nobody got, you know what I mean? I'm fired. Until I got towards these industry guys who basically was just like, at the end, Waka Flocka, I played my beats for him. And I played on one, he was like, that's dope. You got another one? I'm like, all right, then, I'm playing this one. You gonna love this one. Listening to it, he's like, man, that's cool too. That's all right. Man, you gotta play me your fire. I'm over here thinking like, damn, that was my fire one. Sure, hold on. That wasn't the fire one? Okay, so I'm like, all right, let's play this one. And Walker listed that one too. He's like, that's cool, but how about this, y'all? He said, I got some Lex Luger beats right now in the email. Everybody in the room was like, Lex Luger? They went crazy for it, right? Because this is when Lex Luger was producing for everybody, was just making fire hits. And that right there, it put me in a mode where like, damn, I really ain't that hot, right?
It humbled you.
It humbled the hell out of me. And on the way home, I just remember I was riding with KD back to his mansion. And I remember I was just kind of in a moody attitude, not attitude, but kind of like, man, I blew my chance with Waka Flocka. Like, I blew it. KD looked at me, he was like, bro, you need to cheer up. He said, better. This means you gotta get better. Study, sit your ass down, get back in the booth, get back on the keyboards, and make something hotter. Don't be crying and moping and all that extra shit. You gonna get better, and the next song we have, you gonna get it. And that right there is what humbled me. It made me get better. It's the first time I really learned that like you can actually study producers and music and how they put stuff together. So that's just a little long ass quick story, but it was just one of those experiences where, it just, when you're, like I said, your friends and family always telling you that you're the bomb, you the shit. But when you get around these industry guys, you're a totally different sound to them. There's some hot cats out there in this industry, so yeah, for sure.
That's first off, that's a great question. You know what I mean? Like that hits deep because, man, there's just, every producer can speak for this, man. Sorry to cut you off, man. Every producer can speak for this because every producer goes to the struggle. Not only does everyone start from somewhere, but you make your first beat, people think it's bad, or maybe it's great, but you try to go to events, you try to meet artists, maybe you're not big enough for them, you know what I mean? That gets slammed in your face. Maybe you looked at the manager wrong, or you looked at the club owner or the event person in a weird way. They're like, the trouble's timing, and the issue is that if you're not at the right time that you feel as though is right for you, then it's wasted opportunities. That's what sucks, is that I think the biggest issue I had was being there at the right time for the right opportunity, but I wasn't out where I needed to be, you know? And because of that, that led to a lot of doors being slammed, you know, stuff that if I were to show them what I can do now versus what I could have done 5 years ago, you know? Like I listened to a beat I made literally 7 years ago because of a artist that like pulled it out of their records, was about to record it. And I was like, man, please don't use that beat. I got this stuff right here and let me give it to you. Please don't release that. I don't want people knowing that I used to do bad stuff like that, you know? And it made me think, man, I used to go around in public being like, hey bro, this is me, this is my image, this is who I am. And it just fascinates me that like, if you didn't grow properly and you didn't build your bridges the way you're supposed to, get the door slammed in your face, you get blackballed in some weird ways, you know, and like, if you just don't mess with the right crew, you know, there's another way to get blackballed. Oklahoma's really weird because everyone's in groups, you know, and if you don't fit in that group or the group already has something that they don't need you for, it's hard to really make a place in it, you know. But then again, that goes for everywhere. You know, when I've traveled, I think I've been to about 40 different states, you know, 40 out of 50. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people have the same problem, you know, whether you're a producer or an artist, whether you do hip hop or alternative rock, you know, like everyone says this genre is stealing from me, this artist is stealing from me, this producer is causing this issue for me. And it's always these guys are causing an issue for me when ideally it's just, hey, you could have done something different and you just gotta learn from that. And that's what I feel like was a big stopping point. It's just, there's a lot that I needed to learn, but it just was the wrong time for me to learn it, you know? And so if I really wanted to give advice out to people that like, how not to get that door slammed in their face and how like to move past that brick wall that a lot of producers have, is that you gotta take into example where you're at and where your value is and who you are.
Probably just the closed doors effect, and I'm sure everybody can relate to that. When I had made up my mind that I was gonna go all in, you know, I left, bro. I didn't stay here. I even left the family here, bro. Like I really got out of here. And I went to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I went to New York, I went to Miami, I went to Northern California. I set up shop, bro, in San Francisco, Oakland, Stockton, all that, Sacramento, bro. I got out of here, bro. Like, I wasn't having it. I didn't want my narrative to just be, oh, you know, he was a legend in Oklahoma. Nah, that cat right there, he actually really out here and really dealt with some people. He really rubbed shoulders, he really shook hands, he really wrote and sat down and vibed out, you know what I'm saying, with some real legends, you know what I'm saying, some cats that do this music that's still relevant to this day. That guy has friends that are celebrities, you know, like that was me. I really got out here and functioned, and it was great. And I got to see cats that are relevant today at their lowest. You know what I'm saying? Cats that was really out here peddling CDs. Cats that was really out here with flyers in their hands. You know what I'm saying? And now they got M's. Now they got Bentleys in all colors, and you know, they bought Mike Tyson's house. You know, yeah, stuff like that. You know, it was real. So I just hated how. You know, you could go out and wow some people, some celebrities, whatever, and they promise you the world, and then you make good on your side of the deal, and then they decide, you know, they're going in a different direction or whatever, and you still stuck here with all of this inspiration that you were creating for them that they're no longer interested in. So that was definitely one of the most disappointing parts for me, I would say.
Shit. That's pretty much been like my whole fucking career, bro. I'm to be real, like that's pretty much been my whole career. Like, just gotten close to so many different things, man. Like before so I started playing drums right when I was 13. That's what I wanted to be, was like a rock drummer and stuff when I was growing up. That's all I did was play drums. And then when I was 16, I met this dude, He was older than me, like 19 or something, played guitar, and he was in a band, and they had just like gotten this thing set up where they were gonna go on tour on the East Coast in the summertime. And so I tried out for this band, and I made it, and I was like 16. I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna go on tour, right? And my parents are freaking the fuck out. And I'm just like, I'll just drop out, I'll get my GED, because they said eventually it was just gonna keep going, right? So I was like, that was my plan. I was gonna do that. Well, 2 weeks before they were gonna go on tour, their manager calls me, who I never met, and he's asking me like about like all this stuff for, I guess, like insurance purposes, and he asked my age. And when he found out I wasn't 18, he just lost his mind because I had to be 18 to go on this tour, the way everything was set up. So he freaks out, screaming at me, and then that was the first time I thought some shit was gonna pop off, and then it didn't. But no, there's been all kinds of moments, man.
Oh, it's absolutely the same concept. Because it's pre-made music, regardless. Yeah, no. Looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. So, yeah, no, samples and loops are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I use them all the time. I love live instruments. I love the imperfections of live instruments. I think that it's needed because we are people and nobody's perfect, nothing is perfect. And so keeping that element just keeps everything so raw, and I really like that. But the reality of today is that stuff exists, so why would you not give yourself help? Everyone else is using it. The only person that you're hurting by being prideful about loops and samples is yourself and your own career. Because that's definitely just a pride thing. It's like, I won't use those because it's cheating.
Yeah, I could play on my own melody.
Yeah, you could, or you could just use that in 3 seconds and utilize your time and money wisely. So yeah, and the way that loops are set up, unlike samples, is you can edit almost every single aspect of them.
Oh, like they give you the stems with the loops.
Yeah, or you can change the envelope, you can change the length. I mean,
like with the effects.
Right, yeah, you can definitely make it your own.
I've always been a person that loves sample. I love sampling from the beginning, fam. Like, I come from the backpack, you know what I'm saying, aspect of hip hop. So sampling was everything to us back then, you know. Sample crazy ass fucking songs, all types of stuff. Like, you gotta think about it, you know. I love when Kanye came into
the game.
Yeah, like, fuck. We didn't realize he was bipolar and fucking schizophrenic, but we loved him because look at the fucking beautiful shit that he put out, bro. Look at all the samples that he fucking used. Look at all the music that he made back alive. How many people would go listen Through the Fire, Shaka Khan's Through the Fire, just because of Through the Wire?
Like, he's bringing attention to the old songs people might have forgotten.
The essentials. Come on, man. Like, I guess I can just say for me, I'm an old school head that really, really loves music, bro. So to recycle it, I'm down with it. I love it. I love to hear it. I love to see it. You know, I'm with that. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people be like, be original. Hey, that's fine too. You know what I mean? I like original music too, but people that use samples, keep doing it, bro. Keep bringing this music back alive. Keep, freshening it out. I want to hear it again. I want to hear it better. I want to hear it different.
It's a sample, I ain't gonna lie. You could flip the fuck out of a sample and you won't even know, like, what song this is. Like, on God, some of the songs my nigga coming up on our album, like, them samples y'all hear, bro, a few of them, shit, y'all might not recognize where the fuck they came from because I chopped them up so much, bro. So, but it's definitely a difference. Like using loops, of course you using another producer composition, so you know what I'm saying. You got also credit that man for that melody. Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't knock niggas for using loops, bro. I use them hoes a lot of the times when I'm like, nigga, beat when in the beat block. Yeah.
I'm down with loops. I'll use loops. I kind of look at loops as like basically like the same thing as sampling in the 90s. Yeah. Just more like a foundational start for a beat, you know? That's how I would use the loop. And usually I try to mess with the loop too a little bit to, you know. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, I think. Yeah. Well, the thing now is you're not really like creating, but if you're using the loops, yeah, you're not like creating that loop, but it's not really about the creation of the loop or not creating it or whatever. It's more just, from my point of view, it's more just about using that little loop as a starting block, you know what I mean? So, and I also think with production nowadays, there's just like way more elements going on than there was on MPCs too, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Sampling was just instrumental in kind of not only birthing the idea, but bringing something to light and then expanding on it. You know what I mean? It was just having somewhere to build from.
What's your favorite part of making a beat and song, and why? Like the melody, the chords, the 808, the drums?
It's actually a feeling for me. A long time ago, somebody taught me that there's certain notes you can hit that will bring certain emotions. When I think I heard that, it was like...
like a light bulb went off?
Yeah, you know, like you thought to yourself, something like that. When they do that level of creativity is actually pretty dope to me. I like the thought of that. Or when they harmonize, and, you know, they got several of the Brady Bunch joints that's all around there, and they doing all their little vocal tones. That part is cool too. But as far as loops and stuff that they might grab or put on YouTube and all of that, and then they just build towards it. I mean, that's what sampling is. You know what I mean? It is just about taking something from somewhere and building from that and just expanding on it. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's just another way to create, you know, music.
You know, I feel like loops is definitely a cheat code. But I don't feel there's nothing wrong with loops if you recreate the loop. You know, put a reverse to it, maybe change the tune to it,
be creative,
slow it, just be creative with it. You know, the loops are there obviously for a reason. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I grew up in an era where you had to create everything, you know what I mean? You had to play it out, make it your own originality. See, producers back in the day, you had to have originality of your beats. When the Timbaland had a beat, Swiss Beats, Kanye West, Pharrell, Neptunes, whatever, you knew it was their sound. You knew it was their beat. You didn't have to go look it up, who made this track or none of that. As soon as you heard that, oh shit, Swiss Beats made that. Just because he had his certain sound, you had that originality. Now, there's so many producers that got the same sound, you don't know who's making the tracks unless obviously the tag, but if you don't hear that tag, it's kind of like, who made this? You know,
everything sounds
similar. Everything is sounding something similar. You know what I mean? You got the, like you said, because with the loop stuff, the creativeness is totally different from when I was growing up, man. And I'm not faulting. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it because, you know, it's what the newer generation is doing. But like I said, as I was growing up, man, you had to be creative and original, and you just had to do your own sound, do your own thing. So. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel you need to change it up because shit, you use the same loop as another producer, you're gonna hear it on the radio, both of y'all got the same sound. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
You definitely are on another level of mastery of your craft when you don't have to use loops and you know how to make your own melodies and you know how to formulate your own ideas with your mind and put them all together to make a complete beat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's some other next level shit, you know what I'm saying? Do I compare it to producers in the 90s using samples? no, because samples were like, they had to do that, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, they had to kind of put things together in order to make like a complete beat. Now we have so many sound banks and synthesizers and noises and different forms of drums, you know what I'm saying? That's where like there's no limits, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's the same, just because you can make anything, bro. Literally, like, you can make anything. As a producer, if you learn how to make melodies, you can make whatever. Whatever you're trying to complete, you can be able to make it, you know what I'm saying? Simple. But you don't know how to do that, then I just feel like you can still make some hard shit, but it's just like you're not a true master of the craft. That's so much I should say.
I wouldn't say that's equivalent. I definitely wouldn't say that's equivalent. I used to be against loops, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, bro, I feel like everybody's doing it. Like, it's more like if you can't beat them, join them type of situation, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have no problems with loops. I mean, I'm working with a lot of producers nowadays to, you know, get loops from them and stuff, and it helps me with my workflow. Like, I don't have to turn down situations and opportunities that come towards me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's beneficial to me and it's beneficial to the other person. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that's sending me loops has never got a placement before in their life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think you can agree. You know what I'm saying? You've sent me loops and what has happened? You feel me? So, yeah. You know? So, yeah, I'm all for it.
If it was consistent, like if it was consistently, I would say mixing is probably the most lucrative for me, just because one, I'm probably the best at that in this in this area. So I do pretty well at it, and my clients and I have a really good time, so they keep coming back for it. Engineering helps a lot too, though. Management was my most lucrative for sure. To date, I made the most money doing that. Not because of the percentage, but just because the amount of shows that I did, and we did so many of them. I mean, I was doing shows every night.
I mean, definitely placements. You know what I mean? I made some good money off placements and selling records. Streaming, I mean, a lot of people don't understand, like, streaming is just, it's chump change. Like, it sounds cool to have 1 million streams and dope. It's dope. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But when you see that paycheck, you're gonna look at that like, damn, that's it?
For 1 million?
For 1 million? You got about 3-4 G's? Huh. You know what I mean? It blows your mind. That's why you gotta be a Drake or a Doja Cat who's doing billions of streams to really make that lucrative money. But placements is dope. It can't just be any placements as well. It's gotta be one that's, you know, that's actually selling and stuff. You know what I mean? That's where you can see your royalty money come in and, you know, get some good cash in your bank account. But yeah, placements for me is definitely been the money maker right there. I sold some beats outright for a nice price as well, but yeah, I definitely say placements. Publishing as well, man. You got some decent publishing, you can make some money. For sure.
So the most profitable, as most producers would say, would probably be working with points in the industry, you know. Even 3 points on a song that's top 100 probably pays more than most beat leases would, and for most average producers in half a year. You know, if you really want to actually make money make money as a musician, and time is more valuable than over money. You know, like, you don't have to spend a lot of time to work with someone in the industry, make a song for them, get some points, and sit back and let percentages roll in. You know, the best way to make money in the industry is by working off of royalties. definite for sure. You know, because royalties are forever. You feel me? Like, yeah, you can get a $20 beat lease. You know, you can go ahead and sell your track for $100 for untagged, but that $100 runs short. You feel me? What if you made a song and you say, look, don't worry about the $100, just give me 50%. Next thing you know, that song makes 1 million streams. You made 50% of that 1 million streams. Guess what? That's way more than $100.
I would definitely say publishing from placements, from big placements. That's where your biggest check comes from, really, to be honest. If you're, for instance, Broken Love, you know what I'm saying? That record did over 150 million streams on YouTube alone, right? Now, when you sign up for like a publishing company such as like Song Trust or something like that, they pick up all your stuff from all your royalties from like DSPs and whatnot. Apple might pay something like 0.0064 whatever millions of streams. You get millions and millions of streams off of that. That's thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? 1 million streams can be somewhere in between like 800 to like 2-3 grand depending on ads and stuff like that. Maybe even more, but usually you don't see a lot of ads in between songs, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, publishing checks are fat, especially if you're not signed to nobody and don't owe anybody anything, you feel me? So.
At the end of the day, anything royalty-wise will come into play regardless of professionalism. Whether it's within the day's released or a month down the road, especially on like a major like label, those royalties will always be placed. You know, you don't have to worry too much about the royalty side. What really matters is the ownership and what percentages you as a producer get. You know, I'm a wholehearted believer in royalties percentages over upfront costs, you know, because I believe in investing. You know, time is an investment. And so realistically, as long as you just make sure that the paperwork makes sense for how much you own, not just of like, you know, I own 25% of the distribution, but it's how much do you own of the song? You know what I mean? Like, how much do you have in value for that song? And a lot of people don't underestimate that. Like, one person tried to say, hey, you know, I'm giving you 3% of the song for this major label for distribution. And then I made sure that they said, look, if it doesn't show that I own 3% of the song, not just 3% of distribution, don't give me that deal. Because I own 3% of the song, you know? But the label didn't try to say that. And if I wouldn't have known that, I would have known what I wanted, what I was looking for, they would have ran with it. So you just gotta make sure that you understand that like percentage of the songs really matter, you know? Like what you actually own on the song really matters because people will try to abuse that.
You pretty much said it, man. I mean, you know, you kind of answered that question. You know, you gotta, you know, for one, I think what a lot of producers, new and upcoming producers, what they gotta understand is, say you're about to work with a nice artist. He might not be on a Travis Scott level, nothing like that, but you know he's coming up. And he bought exclusive beat for you for, just say $1,000. In your mind, you're thinking, I made this sold the beat for a rack. I'm on. Okay. So that artist just went gold with that track, went platinum with that track. You don't see nothing else because you sold it outright.
They work for hire.
Man, you know? And you're over here seeing him with $500,000 he's made as your record and you made $1,000. And you're kicking yourself in the fucking face. Punching yourself in the face. If you kick yourself in the face, you got some crazy legs. So you always got to work out deals with these artists, Ben, today, man. I do points. I do percentages. Just in case. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you never know. And then they do blow up and you guys are making money together. And then they like, I got 30 G's to pay him off now. Let me go. Okay, cool. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be smart about how you handle your business with the labels, with the artists. Don't just sell yourself for cheap, especially if you know the artist is going to do something with it, because that $1,000 today is going to be nothing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So just be smart with your business. Definitely learn the industry.
Producer agreement is very important. You know what I mean? Like, I would honestly say that's the first step behind everything. You know, the producer agreement leads to the splits, because usually that's in there. You know, it's one of those things where if you don't, man, I'm about to go and repeat the same thing I just said, but yeah, the producer splits is what really matters, the producer agreement, because that kind of sets in stone, hey, I'm liable for this, I'm not liable for that, I own this, you own that. And it really sets the groundwork and the framing for both them to create the songs and you to work with the label.
Because the majors are full of it, bro. Like, they never send me a check either, so don't feel bad if it don't happen for you. Every now and then, I mean, I done worked with artists that did. And I done music with them artists that did. You know, they got a check or whatever. I didn't get $1 from that. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm just telling you about my experience. So, for somebody to cut you a check for doing something production-wise,
this even get your credit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is gonna be up to you. Number one, get your publishing in order. Publish all your work. That's all you gotta do. I know it sounds like a pain in the ass. That's because it is. But at least y'all's pain in the ass is now on the web. Y'all ain't gotta do nothing but go to the website and submit that joint, and it is done same day. You know what we have to do, Bobby? Bro, had to package this stuff up, get a, what do they call it? Not notarized, but get a registration, you know.
Stamp.
Yeah. So that was the poor man's copy. You had to do that from the mail service. But if it wasn't that, you had to go get a registered mail type deal. And then you'd have to do it that way and send it over. And then you could write or call them 3 weeks later to verify if they received it. 3 weeks later. Dude, you can submit this stuff now and have your stuff copyrighted the same day. Library of Congress is everywhere. These cats don't even do that now. At all. Like, I've literally sampled music. I went in looking for it. Found details to where I could actually reach out to the people. Reached out to them, never hear back. I'll put the music out myself. Who even knows or cares that this is your record and I just made your record better? Like, I just revamped your whole record, bro, and made it my own. I went and copywrote it. Now you look like the perpetrator. That's how ridiculous it is with cats now. Like, it's always gonna be first come, first serve. So if you the first one to the punch, you get the goal. You know what I mean?
I got a manager, but even then, like, I still kind of make sure that I stay on top of that. So always just really just be prepared to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to like be aggressive with the conversation about having business, because you need the vibe to be like, you got to be able to create without having that, you know what I'm saying, going on within your creative process. So really, I just worry about that like later on, like on the back end type shit. Like, I feel like once you do beats with people enough, or you produce for somebody enough, y'all have a relationship to where, you know what I'm saying, you can ask them to let them know whenever they're about to drop a song, and y'all can handle the business whenever it comes to that point, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be just bam on the table right there. So, to answer your question, some people use third parties. So, DistroKid, yada yada, make sure you're getting your points on DistroKid. Make sure you're doing BMI, ASCAP, you know what I'm saying, getting those royalties registered. Outside of that, really, it should be straight outside of that, really. YouTube monetization if it gets to that point.
Well, the publishing is just your first, I mean, that's just one I dotted. The T's getting crossed is gonna be you having an established contractual agreement ready for handing over. So let's say you know what your dollar amount is, or you know what type of credits that you're anticipating having from these folks, or let's say you have your licensing together to where it can go on a published work that's a video or some type of aired programming, you know. And I'm talking, it can be a commercial, bro. It can be an infomercial intro. It can be anything. if it is streamed and put on a Netflix, a Hulu, or a Paramount, or whatever, if it's on any of these platforms, hell, even the movies, I mean, to get something placed like that, number one, you should have got paid to do it. You should have definitely had your publishing in order before you did it as well. You should have had something that tied you to that particular work with that individual that's responsible for putting it out. So, like I said, if it's a movie soundtrack, there's no way I'm recording a song for this movie soundtrack. It's on the movie, and I ain't got a dime from it. I don't care if the movie flopped or if it was the next stinking Top Gun Maverick and everybody in their mom was going to see it. Listen, you think Kenny Loggins didn't get paid for Danger Zone playing in Maverick, bro? Come on, man. Kenny Loggins got paid, bro. Y'all can get paid too, but you gotta have your affairs in order, bro. So, publishing, get your contract together for how you want licensing to go. You don't know all that stuff and it sounds like it's too much. Sit down with somebody on some legal stuff, get your ducks in a row. Okay? It's not that hard, I promise. It does take effort, absolutely. And you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. You're gonna have to use that brain of yours and be smart.
Yeah, we have a song split sheet.
Producer,
but that's not label. So as somebody, there's no one here at this place signed to a major label deal because we're all independent. So I don't really know, and I've never had to deal with that. I don't manage producers. And I've never been offered a contract like that. But song splits are an absolute must because the thing is if you don't deal with that up front, things get real hairy real quick. So
like about credit, who did what, who gets what.
Yeah, everyone remembers what happened in the room if you're still in the room. But as soon as you leave the room, all of a sudden, we don't remember you saying that. We don't remember. Yeah. Everyone remembers as long as you're still in the room. So you need to sign the papers while you're still in the room. Yeah.
You will try to get played. You know what I'm saying? You will try to get played, but you got to know how to back yourself. Main thing is getting an entertainment lawyer. And not only any type of entertainment lawyer, you want to get one that's in your best interest. You feel me? Because you could get an entertainment lawyer that has a great relationship with the label and they don't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying?
They're not gonna choose you over Warner that's paying $1 million as opposed to you're paying a little.
And it's not necessarily that they're getting paid millions, they just don't give a damn about you for real. You feel me? So you gotta find somebody that's within your best interest and is willing to kick doors down for you. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate the entertainment lawyer that I hired because she is cutthroat. She does not play. You know what I'm saying? She will look over every single word that is on that contract that they send you. You feel me? That's the main part. Now, you can understand the business yourself. I would definitely study music business yourself. You know what I'm saying? But an entertainment lawyer is key to getting that bag. For sure.
And what's the paperwork they would send you? Like, you think it would be a split? So
you would definitely get a split. You would get a producer agreement as well, okay? Your producer agreement will have all type of big ass words you don't know anything about, you know what I'm saying? And long story short, they will be trying to undercut everything you can. You want to try to get an advance or a fee. A fee you don't have to recoup. An advance you have to recoup. So you would get that up front. You want to get your percentage. So if you produce the beat yourself, you want to make sure that you get your 50% that you are entitled to. So you're entitled to get paid up front. You're entitled to get 50%. And then you're entitled to get points. So the point system is more hard to explain, but I would look into it. So like standard is like getting 2 to 3 points. So 50% pub, 3 points on the royalties, and an advance up front.
And the 3 points is basically a percent, but it's on the total, like the album, or it's like a total.
It's like I believe it's off of like the artist side. Like you gotta look into it because I don't know how to explain it for real, but I usually get about 3 points every time I get a placement. Someone like Timberland would get like 5 points, maybe more. You know what I'm saying? So